They say be careful what you ask for, because sometimes you get it and realize too late it was never what you wanted. I'm Sarah, and this is how one careless conversation cost me the best relationship of my life, leaving me with nothing but regret and an empty apartment I couldn't even call mine anymore. Ryan and I were that couple, 3 years together, inseparable, living downtown in a little place that felt like home. We had routines, private jokes, lazy Sundays with coffee and crossword puzzles, weekend hikes, endless photos documenting our happiness. To anyone watching, we were disgustingly perfect. And honestly, I believed that, too, until doubt crept in. It started small, comments from friends, especially my best friend, Emma. She'd tease me about being settled down too young, saying I was wasting my 20s while she scrolled through dating apps and bragged about her wild nights out. Slowly, I started to wonder if she was right. Was I missing out? Was I too comfortable? The doubts poison everything. Ryan choosing the same restaurant. Ryan falling asleep during movies. Ryan being predictable. All the little things I once loved suddenly looked like chains. My friends' stories of hookups and spontaneity made me feel like the married one in the group, boring and tied down. I started pulling away, coming home later, avoiding questions, acting defensive whenever Ryan asked where I'd been. The turning point came when I found myself searching solo travel deals online. Not because I planned to go, but because the idea of freedom sounded intoxicating. Ryan saw my search history. That night he asked me point blank, was I unhappy? Was there someone else? Did I not want us anymore? And instead of being honest about my confusion, I said the worst possible thing. I told him I loved him, but I wanted to experience more before things got too serious. Those exact words. As if he were an obstacle to my growth, not the man who had loved me faithfully for 3 years. Then I said we should take a break. Not break up, just open things up for a while, so I could explore, and then come back when I was sure he was the one. I thought I was being logical, mature even. Ryan's silence told me otherwise. Then, in the calmest but coldest voice I've ever heard, he asked, you want me to sit at home and wait for you while you try other men, and then welcome you back when you decide I'm good enough? I tried to explain, tried to soften it, but every word only dug me deeper. He told me there was no we in my plan. I was basically asking him to be my safety net while I shopped around. He called me selfish. I called him controlling. The fight spiraled until I stormed out, announcing I'd stay with Emma until he cooled off. As I left, he said words that should have stopped me in my tracks. Don't expect things to be the same when you come back. But I didn't take him seriously. I thought he'd realize my idea was fair once he'd calmed down. Emma's couch was lumpy, and her enthusiasm for my freedom lasted exactly 2 days before she hinted I should find my own place. My other friends had excuses too. Tiny apartments, strict roommates, boyfriends around. Meanwhile, Ryan never called, never texted. By the 4th day, I went back, ready to patch things up, except my key didn't fit the lock. I tried again and again, until the neighbor casually mentioned a locksmith had been by. My stomach sank. Ryan had changed the locks. When I finally reached him, his voice was cold and final. He'd taken over the lease, removed my name, and told me I had a window of 2 hours on Saturday to pick up the rest of my things. It hit me then, I wasn't just single. I was homeless. In less than a week, I'd gone from having a partner and a home to being completely erased. The weeks that followed were a blur, crashing on couches, scraping together money, and realizing just how quickly freedom turns into loneliness. My friends, the same ones who pushed me toward this, weren't much help when it came to real-life problems. Eventually, I found a tiny studio barely bigger than our old bedroom. Thin walls, noisy neighbors, no warmth. Every night, I lay there replaying that conversation, asking myself how I could have been so blind. The worst moment? Going back to collect my boxes and finding Ryan already moved on. A woman named Lisa answered the door, wearing a shirt like she belonged there, and clearly she did. She had a key, she had a smile, and she had the future I threw away. Ryan looked healthier, happier, more alive than he ever had with me. And when I tried pathetically to ask for another chance, he only shook his head. I loved you, too. But not anymore. 6 months later, Ryan and Lisa are engaged. And me? I'm still in that shoebox apartment, swiping through dating apps, chasing the freedom I thought I wanted. Except now I know the truth. The grass isn't greener. It's just different. And sometimes different is worse. If you're ever tempted to ask for a break, make sure you're ready to lose everything. Because freedom isn't free. And sometimes the cost is more than you can ever afford.